And Kevin Bartlett won because on the last lap he didn't bother going down through the S's, he just drove down through the paddock.
This footage is sort of being regenerated in a lot of respects and put on disc and viewed so that some of our younger people, particularly Australians, and that can actually see some of the footage which we all looked at and really liked looking at when we were young. So enjoy it.
Well, it's windy and cold up on Mount Panorama at Bathurst, where the Hardie-Ferodo 500-mile endurance race will be starting shortly. So while we wait to cross for the telecast of this classic sporting event, here's some appropriate music.
I need to remind you that the road will be very much like a pork chop, so we would crave that you exercise a little caution. Up in the McPhillamy, yesterday a lot of drivers were cutting that corner and throwing a lot of gravel up onto the track. So if somebody goes off there through gravel being thrown on the track, there's nothing we can do about it.
We now take you direct to Bathurst for the official telecast of the 1972 Hardie-Ferodo 500.
You're on cue.
And the cars are coming out now. It's a wet and dismal scene, really, but still a great sense of excitement in the air. This is Bathurst, the only race of its kind in the world. Absolutely unique, and it's certainly run on one of the world's great tracks.
All pit crew must clear the grid at the 1 minute ball. All pit crew must clear the grid at the 1 minute ball.
Well, with time running out, let's swing into our interviews and go down on the grid to look at Harry Firth and the Holden dealers team.
Harry Firth, you're having a good look at your tyres. It's wet. Is that going to be the story of the race?
I don't think so, really.
Well, the story of the race should be that the conditions will aid the Tiranas fully. These small, light machines with their powerful six-cylinder engines and superb suspensions will be better balanced in the wet. These scenes were shot during the time trials yesterday when the team fully sorted out their tyres, and they could well score an advantage here. Firth has two brilliant drivers in Bond and Brock. The latter is the faster on this occasion. He's only 2.7 seconds slower than Ford Works driver Alan Moffat.
We prefer to have a dry race, obviously. The situation is that what worries
Well,
me
you heard him say it. The weather will be the story of the race. Although, to be fair, even if it were dry, the result would be very close, because while the Falcons have virtually reached the end of the road in development, being a last year's model, the Tiranas are still being improved. Ford have won the last two Bathurst 500s, and they're out to get the hat trick. It'll be a marvellous achievement if they do so. In fact, it'll be unprecedented. But I imagine that no one in the team is under any illusion that it will be an easy win. 500 miles around Bathurst is a long way, and with this weather and such a slippery track.
The field will soon be on its way in the 1972 Hardie-Ferodo 500. Flag should be dropping any moment.
angle of the big three, it's Moffat, leading at the end of lap 1. Second is French. Brock is next in the Tirana, which means Gibson and Goss have slipped back in their Falcons. Bond is third, then Moore. XL bend again, where you saw them come over the hump in a wall of spray. Moffat, closely followed by French. A slight gap to Brock in the first hold. Then Bond and Moore with their lights on. Goss is in 6th, Gibson 7th, then Gagan in the first Charger. West in the Falcon, then Chivers. Up the top, Bond and Moore with their lights on, now the S's, and Moffat taking it very easy. The big Falcon looks very skittish. One slight mistake and he could have a spin out. Forrest Elbow, French holding second, Brock's very close. Bond's dropping back a little, he's sliding a bit, and Moore's right on his tail. French has gone down the escape road. That lets Brock into second. Bond's third, Moore fourth. Here comes French. He must have gone down the escape road at the end of the straight. That shows you how slippery it is, because French is no mean driver. Through the cutting, second time up the mountain. Still Moffat.
Okay, fellows, we'll follow Colin Bond around this time. Stand by NBN. OB2.
Well, we've picked up Colin Bond in the Holden dealer team Tirana.
I've got him down the bottom. He's coming around Mountain Straight now. He's coming up the
This
mountain.
is the man who won the 69 500 in a Monaro.
Look at Bondy.
And he's gone.
Bondy's
crashed.
gone.
Look.
Oh, bugger, look.
Colin Bond has crashed at Reed Park.
Stand by, Studio D. We'll have a replay of this crash. Stand by.
Now, here's the replay. Look, he just seems to understeer straight off the track. Could be the wind. Hits the barrier. Goes onto his roof. Slides across the track. Rolls back on his wheels. It looks as though he hits a drain or an obstruction of some kind because he goes again. This is a bad one. That could be an end for end. I think he must have hit a patch of wood.
Bond gone, Holden's hopes right with Brock and Moore, and they're pushing Moffat hard as he skates the big Falcon down through the S's. Moffat at least will be glad that he's got one of the nimble Tiranas off his back. Colin Bond is all right. He's coming to the pit with nothing more to do.
Went round the lap and the track was quite all right. They said you were flying out, and it was the same again. Someone must have swished them around the course a bit more.
Once it left the road and got to the dirt, there was no controlling and hit the arm coil, ran up on two wheels for a while, then sort of fell on its roof and just slid across the road and finally finished back on its wheels again on the other side of the road.
Situation is that you'll see there's a very good private Tirana right behind Brock. So that like us, Harry's got some good backups in the private people. The race is in very early condition. It's a shame for the opposition they should lose a car this early.
And Brock's got him, slipped through on the run down to Forrest Elbow. Moore's looking for a way past too. The Falcon's definitely slower across the top where it's treacherously slippery. Moffat will pull out the stops down the straight. Now let's see who leads past the pits. Yes, it's Moffat again. He might be taking it easy up the top, but on the straight, he's giving the V8 all it's got. Up the top again, Reed Park. Brock held up by traffic a little, and Moore's gone. Must have spun somewhere. And here's French, with the foot down, now in third, out after Brock. There's Leo Gagan. According to our chart, he's up in fourth. And French has forged his way back to second. A great effort by the Ford driver. There's John Goss, back a fair way. Started in second slot, but 4 tyres and a quick pit stop have dropped him to, must be about 7. There's Gibson with Chivers in the Charger, giving him a hard time.
Picking up Fred Gibson in a moment in the Works Falcon. He's a fair way down after a moment on that slippery first lap.
Gibbo's going.
And look, he's gone. Gibson's
No,
wrong.
look, he's still going. Hey, look, that car's just missed him.
That was a fearful accident. The Falcon took a real hammering, but Gibson stayed with the car, and his harness should have saved him from any injury.
Yes, there he is. He's all right. You'll notice how the roll cage protects him.
That's great. Stand by, Studio D. Let's see a
First
replay in
one
slow
now,
motion.
Gibson.
Thank you.
2 drivers now.
Roll it when you're ready.
You'll notice that he's all beige means he simply had a lose, that no one pushed him.
What's this, train?
I rolled side to side, and right at the finish he's there.
Look, right on the top.
We saw you in rather animated Gibson. What telling you?
What happened, basically, he said he mighty up there, you can't miss out by half an inch. He had the car go round twice, backwards, and then went in, unfortunately, to the bank.
Well, if 2 top drivers like Fred Gibson and Colin Bond can go out, this indicates just how dicey things are.
Anybody who's still out there is doing well.
Moffat's gone. He's up a bank at Reed Park, near where Bond went. That's 2 quick body blows to Ford. GIBSON crashing, and now Moffat in trouble. That puts Brock and the Hardie-Ferodo into place. The French has caught into the pits with tyre trouble. The works Tirana has hit the number 1 slot. There's Moffat and Moore in close company. Moffat still in second, Moore holding down third. Brock safely in first place. Moffat doesn't seem to be gaining on him that much. But the weather's definitely finding up, and once the track dries, the Falcon will cut into the deficit. But Moffat's coming in, and it's not a scheduled stop. He's quite a few laps early. The car might be in trouble. Yes, it's tyres. This is bad luck for team manager Marsden. GIBSON gone, and now Moffat in trouble. Moffat's got the capacity to make up the leeway because it doesn't look like a long stop, but it must be galling sitting there while Brock and the other front runners get further ahead.
They're already well on front one. The fill being poured in on the first turn. It's going to be a full fill stop this one as well with the driving of the pit crew. Not getting any action. Track manager.
Out he goes in barely more than a minute and a half, but he's now in 6th. And there's a development.
Alan was under the impression that we had finished and started the car. We immediately stopped the car and then we started again as we had completed the fueling. In other words, no advantage.
There's Harry Firth telling Brock to ease off. No sense in straining the car. Firth obviously thinks Brock can hold his lead through pit stops. Ground up the top, and Alan Smith's Charger. Pity, he was making up a lot of ground. And now John Goss is in trouble.
We made a wrong decision on tyres. We anticipated that the weather would lift earlier than it has. And so we found ourselves out there in heavy, wet timber, semi-slick tyre. Cost us a lot of time, but we'd recovered from that when we had an engine tightened up and I just had to switch off going up to the road.
They're bringing Peter Brock in for his first pit stop. It's at 47, and it should take about a minute and a half to change tyres and take on a full load of fuel. He's still holding first, but this is where he could lose the lead.
That's going, Pete. Going well.
The race is just getting bedded in. Very nice.
Theo Gagan, who's got up to second, is approaching the bottom of the straight. Gagan's taken the lead in the Charger, but he shouldn't hold it for long because he's due for a stop. And the Holden dealer team mechanics are working very quickly, so Brock shouldn't lose too much ground. We've had the clock on this one, and it looks as though it's 1:36. There he goes in second slot. Shivers driving consistent race and Holding is in third. French is holding down fourth. And here comes Moffat. He's got the boot down in fifth and climbing back. Gagan has pitted. Brock's back in the lead, but we've just heard that he's also been penalised a minute for a refuelling miscue.
They took us for a minute, and there are circumstances which we feel one of the tags pulled out with the filler, and they put it on, and he started it, and then they made him stop it, they took it off and fixed the tag and then put it back on again, and he started again, so that does not contravene the rules.
Ford will be a lot happier now. That brings Moffat a lot closer. And pit calculations show 3/4 distance. Moffat should be breathing down Brock's neck. All the stops out. Ford pits are keeping him well advised, and he's making up huge amounts of ground with laps approaching records. The Holden dealers team pit will be watching his approach very carefully. Brock's pit are obviously aware of the danger from Moffat, but at the moment they're more concerned with French. He's gone past Shivers, and he's reeling in Brock very quickly. The track's drying quickly, and the Falcon can use all its immense horsepower. Brock, however, still has the crucial advantages of better tyre and fuel consumption, and he should be able to fight off the challenge. French has gone into pit for his second stop.
Letting the car down now. Starting the motor up.
A short-lived piece of glory, and time could be against him now because Brock will gain 2 minutes, almost a lap, and French will still have to make another stop. Out he goes in fifth. Now Shivers is in. The stop has dropped him from the third he gained during French's stop. Amazingly, the Charger is banking on one stop, which with consistently fast driving has kept it up amongst the leaders, but this stop looks very slow. Whereas the works team have sophisticated equipment, Shivers' crew is working with rudimentary gear, and he is losing This has been a great race, and the slow stop must be annoying for him. But out he goes, faced with a long climb back up the placings list. Moffat's into his second stop. He's got to within 12 seconds of Brock, but the stop will drop him back another 2. So, to be with Brock at the flag, he's going to have to drive even harder. Let's watch this stop, because we understand that after his minute penalty for starting the car's motor during his first call to pits, that officials are going to keep a close eye on him. Mechanics will also keep a close watch on the situation, because any further delay could be fatal to Moffat's chances. Looks like it's going to last stop too. And he's done it. Moffat's gone early. He's fired them for the completion of refueling. An incredible mix-up. It's amazing. This could happen 2 stops in a row. And look, he's got a minute penalty. This will make his task almost impossible now. It puts him at least 3 minutes behind, and he's got to make up 3 seconds a lap to catch Brock, who is still turning very quick time. Brock coming around again, he's very secure. But he's getting behind too, so it's now a race of tactics. Pit tactics play a big role in the Bathurst 500, but to win a car has to be a definite front runner, and Brock is looking good. Brock will have an advantage though. The stop again should be about 1.5 minutes. It gives him half a minute over French in time.
How is it, Peter? Going well? Able to call? What's the track like in the stage? Really good. Still breathing? Bit of rubber around the face.
And out he goes. Time in the pits, 27. No one's passed him, and with the chasing Falcon still needing a stop, he's in full command with 40 laps to go. Some other drivers won't see out those 40 laps.
Had a front left-hand tyre deflate, which we ran off the road into the safety fence, and consequently into the bush into a tree, which stopped the car quickly, and we're out of the race. We were quite confident, we're doing it pretty easy. The car's brand new, no problems at all, and that's motor racing, one of those things.
Brock continues to consolidate his lead. He's driving superbly while others can wilt under the tremendous pressure. Higgin in trouble. He's in the pits with electrical problems. His crew's just replaced the battery, but it'll mean a push start. He is second of the race, and this will mean another minute penalty. Though on our calculations, that's to drop Gagan back to around 4th or 5th, behind Shivers, the lead being fought out between Brock and French. There's Brock, the leader, still nicely out in front. French is closing the gap, although he's still got that 1 pit stop down. And here's drama, an unscheduled stop by Moffat. Last time in, he was complaining about the Falcon's brakes, and this could be the reason for him bringing the car in so soon. Yes, it looks as though the mechanics are checking out the systems. No effort to change tyres. No one's worrying about topping up the fuel tank. I'd say that this stop will develop into a lengthy one. That'll mean the end of the chances of taking the 500 from Brock. Very disappointing moment for the Ford Works driver. After his early troubles, he was consistently making up ground. This looks as though it will put paid for his chances. There's the mechanics working on the brake lines. A very unhappy Howard Marsden. Must be a bitter moment for him. But at least he and his driver and the car are going down fighting. Moffat again. Wonder what he's thinking. He's lost so much time, he'll be lucky to finish first 10. Sad end to a fine effort.
Well, learn something else. This is one of the reasons why we're in motor racing. We found another weak link in the chain. Unfortunately, we've had to find it out in front of a lot of people and all the television viewers. But we now know that we have another problem to solve in the brake area. That's all there is to it. It's the reason why we're motor racing is to improve the breed. Now, at this stage, though, you still have all is not lost, but we'll rely on the opposition braking to get this race. And that's something that I never ever bank on.
Well, what's the thing at this stage? Just everybody keeping nice and cool and... Yes. We'll be keeping it a bit cooler very shortly, but look at it too. There seems to be a bit of a black thing on the horizon there. It'll sharpen everyone up again. But you told him to slow down. No, I haven't told him anything. He knows what to do.
Right. Minute penalty. It doesn't endanger him in any way?
No, not really.
He's that far in front of French.
He's far enough.
Look at this. The race just outrun and drama in front of it. Murray Carter has put his Falcon into the fence at Murray's, and he doesn't know that the bodywork is ripping into the tyre. He'll be lucky to get around the track, and he has to do that. Regulations say he can't back up. Carter's made it in. Look at that tyre, shredded to pieces, and look at that deflection. Rushing in to get him out on the track again, because Carter has the capacity to finish around about 10. He's driven a sure and steady race. Must be galling to be sitting in the pits like this, with mechanics staring at the car. And they're hanging at it too. There's no time for niceties now. There's some body work in the road, so the mechanics are chopping it off. It's the quickest way. There's a good look at the ruined tyre. The Holden dealers team fit is making certain that Brock realises that French is in the runner-up slot, and that as long as the Purple Falcon doesn't pass him, he's got the 500. There's Carter out again with his body modifications. French is trying very hard over these closing laps. It's been a magnificent effort by the Queensland driver, and second slot will find reward for his efforts. Brock's pit obviously wants a little more room between their driver and French, because the official lap scoring system suggests that the Tirana is only 68 seconds ahead. By the time you take away the minute penalty, that's not much. And French is finding that all of a sudden he's gaining, so here's Dyer's car. He will finish second, Vincent will get third position, with Gagan slipping off because of the penalties for push starts. Brock has shown that he and the Tirana have been saving something for a lot of effort. And down they come, the second last time, Peter Brock, at the wheel of a car that on this track, this day, has recorded a clash victory. 1 lap to go, 1 lap to victory.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we've all seen one of the most thrilling races possible at Bathurst today. It's gone extremely well, and I'm sure you will all agree that Peter Brock, this brilliant young 27-year-old Melburnian, has driven a faultless race, and I think we can all feel very proud of his achievement. So with that, taking into account the tremendous stress he must have been under all these hours, with no further ado, I should like to make the presentation of the Hardie-Ferodo Plus.
Here he goes.
In his winning Tirana, Peter Brock used Castrol GTX and Castrol GT brake fluid.
Super 100 MPH.